Alright, I didn't really want to cover this, but this has popped up in my comments about like 45 times since this morning, so I guess I'm gonna give the people what they want. Now, the main reason I didn't want to talk about an update for Mario Kart World is because I don't have hands-on experience to that extent where I can criticize a change that Nintendo made in an update. For all I know, if I was actually playing Mario Kart World online on the regular with my own Switch 2, I could potentially love this new update. I mean, realistically, I wouldn't, because the few times that I have played Mario Kart World, anytime we've done a Grand Prix and we saw one of those long stretches of intermission tracks instead of the regular 3-lap ones, we all start to groan because nobody wants to play those dumb intermission tracks. But again, since I've only played this game a handful of times now, for a grand total of less than 2 or 3 hours, I didn't know if I wanted to make a video about it. But I will say this. I'm what you would consider a traditional Nintendo fanboy. Basically, I grew up with a Nintendo that has always had the worst online experience out of any console. Basically, every single Nintendo console that has gone online with every single Nintendo game that has gone online is in the running for the worst user experience there is to play anything online. And it's not just because of the servers, it's because Nintendo always strangles you when it comes to how you can play online. Like, I'm pretty sure even when Super Mario Party first got online, it was like, oh yeah, we got Mario Party online. And then it was just a bunch of mini games. Or even right now, they have the game share feature, and they're like, oh yeah, you can play with your friends, except it's a very crappy, watered down version of playing online with your friends. You can't create proper rooms in most of the games that you want to play online with your friends. You can barely customize settings for any game that you decide to play with a group. You're more often than not limited to just 2 people per console anytime you want to play anything. And sometimes it's not even online. Like, for example, in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you want to play the balloon battle. You can't do it so that it's stuck. It has to be time limit. These are things that we are very accustomed to when it comes to being a Nintendo fan and wanting to play games online. So you guys can understand where I am coming from. I would say in the past, 5 years, my experience specifically with Nintendo Online is strictly playing with my own circle of friends and family. I don't play with randos online. I'll do that on my Xbox. I'll do it on PC now that I got a PC. But I feel like it is a gross waste of my resources and my time to play online with randoms on Nintendo consoles because the experience is seldom worth it. Like, even with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? My friends and family and I, we get a group of 4 or 5 of us. We want to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe online on Switch 1. So we all decide, let's get together. We got us 5 or 6, and then we can just join in a room and play with 6 other strangers. Except not quite. You gotta sit in a room and it just does this weird thing where you have to wait and hope that when the race is done, it lets one of your buddies join in because you gotta wait for them to finish their race. So what it has amounted to is that when we play online, we fill it up with bots. Whoever we have, if we're 3 people, 4 people, everybody else is a CPU. It's almost as if you're playing locally. Because Nintendo Online is never worth the headache. That's just a rule. We all know it. I'll never play Mario Party Online with randoms. I play with family, because at least that way I know that it's very easy. We do a WhatsApp group call, because not everybody in my family has Discord. We have a 4-way chat going, and we play Mario Party with each other, where we can hold each other accountable, making sure nobody drops out of the game. Because Nintendo doesn't have any kind of system in place to make sure that people aren't just casually dropping. And it's like you can't talk to anybody that you're playing with. You can't send messages to people. It's very cumbersome to try to share your digital code to add friends and whatnot. It's actually gotten a lot easier now than it used to be back with the Wii U, 3DS, and even the Wii days, and the DS for that matter. But it's still leagues behind where it should be. So when you're telling me that Mario Kart World now has an update where the one thing that people used to appreciate was that they can select random in order to guarantee that they get 3-lap tracks, and that has now since been removed for the users, for the players of Mario Kart World, I tell ya, why are you playing Mario Kart Online in the first place? It is not worth your time to play online with a Nintendo game. And if anything, you should expect this at this point, because Nintendo is terrible when it comes to your customizability options when you play their games online. We all know this. The uproar shouldn't be now that they made the online worse. The uproar should have been 20 days ago when you guys decided to buy another Nintendo console, knowing fully well that they were going to behave the exact same way that they've been behaving for the past 8 years. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still sucks online from like an objective lens. Like, sure, the races have gotten a little bit better and the servers have gotten a little bit better, but anybody that has a console outside of a Nintendo console knows that it sucks. So what did you expect when Mario Kart World came out? You think just because they're charging $80 for the game and just because the console's more expensive now, you're still not going to get the budget Nintendo experience? Just like you're still getting the budget quality screens, the budget quality launch defects, the budget quality sales that ironically are not budget sales because they're super expensive. It's all the exact same Nintendo experience. 3 months ago, I would have told you, shrug it off. It's no big deal. It's Nintendo. You know, they're kind of foolish when they come to this stuff, but it's the budget option. We can accept it. Their online is only $20 a year, right? But that was in the context of prior to them charging us $80 for Mario Kart World and $450 for a Nintendo Switch 2. Things were meant to be forgivable. But now I have a zero tolerance policy, and I would hope you do as well. But at the same time, those of you that are mad about this update that actually play Mario Kart World, if you're somebody that reluctantly purchased the Nintendo Switch 2 and you understand why a lot of us are not buying it and are very upset with Nintendo's practices in regards to this console, then in your case, I feel bad for you. Yeah, it's sad. You bought a game, you bought an expensive console, and Nintendo made a fun thing worse, which is what they're very good at. Fine. I feel bad for you. But the rest of you, those of you that have been shrugging off the fact that I'm sitting there mad that they ruined game sharing for my Nintendo Switch 1, those of you that have been shrugging the fact that I am upset that they want to charge me $450 for this console, upset that they're agreeing to brick our consoles if we decide to modify anything, even if we're not doing anything illegal or pirating, you're shrugging everything off because it doesn't relate to you. Well, guess what? Now, when you go to your Nintendo forums and you complain that they updated the online for Mario Kart World, and the rest of these Nintendo fans are going to turn around at you and they're going to be like, I don't care. It's not like it affects me. I don't play online anyway. Just like it didn't affect you when all of a sudden I had to buy 2 copies of Mario Party Jamboree because I can no longer game share the way Nintendo used to allow us to. Just like it doesn't affect you that somebody else was banned for using a MIG switch even though it legally had their copies of their games on there. This is just the beginning. If you are upset about Mario Kart World's update, you are clearly not a Nintendo fan. Clearly. Because Nintendo fans know that this is what Nintendo does when you play online. And this uproar against this update is the clearest proof I have that the people buying the Nintendo Switch 2 are not true Nintendo fans. They're the people that are coming from Sony, the people that are coming from PC and Xbox, the ones that are happy that we just got a slightly better Switch 2. Because those people, when they come into the new atmosphere, the Nintendo atmosphere, they have standards for online. But you don't realize that we Nintendo fans have zero standards for online because we don't expect anything from the online of Nintendo. The difference is, I used to be okay with it because they were not trying to rip us off. Or rather, they were trying to rip us off, but, you know, it was with a remake of a game that they were charging full price for. Not them trying to come in and be like, here's our Nintendo Switch 2 PlayStation 5. Not them trying to come in and be like, here's our Mario Kart World. It's going to be as expensive as GTA 6, maybe even more expensive. It was just like the usual ripping off where it was like, you know, pay $20 a year and you get access to your ROMs. You know, pay $60 and you get this Zelda game that's 2D and it's going to take you 10 hours to beat, but you're going to have a great time playing it. The kind of ripping off that doesn't make any sales, but is also not the most expensive thing on the market. That kind of ripping off. The under-the-radar type of ripoff. But that is no longer Nintendo. Nah, modern day Nintendo is we're going to act on our own accord. We're going to charge what we want to charge. You're going to play the things that we want you to play, when we want you to play them, and how we want you to play them. That's modern Nintendo. And they're also going to charge what they want to charge. And the reason you're going to be willing to pay more is because you want to, not because it's worth that much. And they expect you to want to. That's modern Nintendo. So yeah, I don't care that Mario Kart World got an update. Why would I care about that? I have two Nintendo Switches. One of them is banned from like, I don't know, a long time ago because I decided to run RetroArch on there to play my own personal ROMs that I ripped from my own carts, not even Switch games. And that banned console is like my favorite one that I've ever had in my entire life. And the second one I use to play online Mario Party and Mario Kart with my brother and cousins and friends. So I don't know what to tell you. If you're bothered by this update, I don't care, it doesn't affect me. Go write a petition, make some videos, and maybe I'll comment on it and say cope and seethe, you rage-baiting clickbait hater. Welcome to Nintendo. You must be new here.